All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're diving headfirst into the world of hydrogen-powered trucking.
With a company that's been making some pretty bold claims, Hyzon Motors.
Hyzon Motors, they're aiming to completely revolutionize heavy-duty trucking.
Yeah, and make it cleaner, greener.
We've got a whole bunch of sources for this one.
Oh, yeah.
We've got videos from CNBC,
CNBC.
Wall Street Millennial,
Love those guys.
even some stuff from Hyzon's own YouTube channel.
Gotta get both sides.
And then we even went and looked at some of the financial reports
Oh, yeah, gotta look at the numbers.
and the stock analysis.
See what's really going on.
And it paints a pretty fascinating picture.
It really does.
And the more we learned about Hyzon, the more their story started to sound familiar.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like another company that maybe didn't turn out so well.
Oh, you mean Nikola?
Yeah, Nikola, the electric truck company.
Yeah, those guys.
That ended up being a big old fraud.
Yeah, that whole truck rolling downhill thing, what a mess.
So that's kind of the big question looming over this whole deep dive. Is Hyzon the real deal? A genuine innovator in clean trucking?
Or are we about to uncover another case of hype gone wrong?
So to get started, let's talk about Hyzon's big idea.
Okay, shoot.
They're building these trucks that run on hydrogen fuel cells.
Right, instead of those big diesel engines.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't exactly engineers, break it down for us.
So imagine a big semi-truck, but instead of spewing out all that diesel exhaust, it's emitting, get this, just water vapor?
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Right, it's pretty wild.
So how did that even work?
So these trucks use hydrogen gas, and this fuel cell acts kind of like a battery.
Oh, okay.
It converts that hydrogen into electricity to power the truck.
So it's like an electric truck.
Exactly.
But instead of a giant battery pack, they're using hydrogen.
You got it.
And what are the advantages of that?
So Hyzon claims these hydrogen fuel cells, they can give you a much longer driving range than a typical electric truck.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
And they can refuel way faster, too.
Oh, wow, so that's a big deal for those long-haul trucking routes.
Huge, yeah, because downtime for recharging can really eat into profits.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about efficiency.
So early on, Hyzon, they were really focused on Europe.
That's right.
They were talking about all these big orders coming
Yeah,
in,
like a huge backlog.
projecting these massive revenues.
Big money, they thought.
And they even got this cool partnership with Heineken to make hydrogen-powered beer trucks.
Oh, I saw that. That was a smart move.
It was. It made the technology seem so much more real.
Yeah, and relatable.
Right, like hydrogen trucks are the future, and that future is just around the corner.
They really sold that vision.
But then things started to get a little complicated.
Oh, what happened?
One of our sources, this YouTube channel called Wall Street Millennial,
Oh, yeah, I've seen their stuff.
they started digging into Hyzon's claims.
Like some investigative reporting.
Yeah, and they found some, let's just say, inconsistencies.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
And that's when those Nikola comparisons really started to hit home.
Oh, I see where this is going.
So there's this video Hyzon put out, right,
Yeah, I think I remember that.
of one of their hydrogen-powered trucks, a milk truck, making deliveries.
It seemed pretty straightforward.
Pretty innocent, right?
Yeah,
Well, it turns out that milk truck,
yeah.
it wasn't actually powered by hydrogen.
Wait, what?
It was running on batteries.
Are you serious?
Yep, they faked it.
Just like Nikola with their downhill truck stunt.
It's like they were trying to pull a fast one.
So that raises a lot of red flags.
Big time.
Like, if they're willing to fake a video, what else are they being dishonest about?
Right, it makes you question everything.
Everything.
And then, to make matters worse, their big European plans kind of fell apart.
They did.
Yeah, and they suddenly shifted their focus to China.
China, huh? Interesting.
They announced this massive deal
How massive are we talking?
for 500 hydrogen trucks.
500. Wow, that's a lot of trucks.
But there's a catch.
There's always a catch, isn't there?
This Chinese company they partnered with, this Shanghai Hydrogen Hongyan Automotive,
Try saying that 5 times fast.
nobody knows anything about them.
Like they're a total mystery.
It's super sketchy.
So we've got misleading marketing videos and a huge deal with a ghost company.
It's not exactly inspiring confidence.
It's not really.
And unfortunately, it gets even shakier when we start looking at Hyzon's financials.
Oh boy, here we go.
But we'll save that for next time.
All right, cliffhanger.
See you tuned.
Can't wait. So remember all that talk about those huge revenues Hyzon was expecting?
Yeah, the ones tied to that massive truck order from their mysterious Chinese partner.
Right. Well, the reality of Hyzon's financial situation, it's not quite as impressive.
Oh, no. What happened?
Their stock price, it's taken a nosedive, like a major one.
How bad are we talking?
It's plummeted over 80% from its peak.
Ouch. It's got to be painful for anyone who invested early on.
Yeah, not a pretty picture.
And what about their financial reports? What do those look like?
Well, things get even more concerning when you dig into those.
Okay, like what?
Hyzon had to, get this, restate their financials for 2021.
Restate their financials. What does that even mean?
It means they had to go back and, well, basically correct their previous financial statements.
Because they weren't accurate.
Yeah, let's just say they weren't telling the whole story.
So what were they trying to hide?
Okay, so remember that revenue they were bragging about?
The one from those incomplete trucks they shipped to China.
Exactly. Well, it turns out a big chunk of that revenue was based on those trucks.
Wait, so they were counting trucks that couldn't even drive as revenue?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like trying to sell a car without an engine and calling it a sale.
That's wild. Are they allowed to do that?
Well, it's definitely a classic case of trying to inflate their numbers to make things look better than they actually were.
So, not exactly transparent.
Not really.
And on top of all that, there have been multiple delayed financial filings.
Yeah, they keep having to ask for extensions.
It almost seems like they're trying to stall, hoping no one will notice the problems.
It definitely raises some eyebrows, and then there's the whole CEO situation.
Right. The previous CEO, wasn't he implicated in some of these questionable practices?
Yeah, the misleading marketing, the inflated revenue, all that.
So what happened? Did they bring in someone new to clean things up?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
They actually promoted someone from within the company to be the new CEO.
Really? They promoted an insider after all that went down.
It's a bold move, that's for sure.
It makes you wonder about their commitment to real change.
It definitely raises questions about whether they're serious about transparency.
Okay, so things are not looking great for Hyzon so far, but surely there have been some positive developments, right?
Well, yeah, they have achieved some milestones.
Like what?
They delivered their first revenue-generating truck in North America,
Okay, that's something.
and they started production at their factory in Illinois.
All right, so they're actually making trucks.
They are, and in one of their YouTube videos, their new CEO, he talks about how hydrogen trucks align perfectly with the push for electric vehicles.
I mean, technically, hydrogen fuel cells are a form of electric vehicle technology, right?
Exactly, he's not wrong about that.
So he sees hydrogen as part of that bigger trend toward electrification.
Yeah, he's really emphasizing the potential of this technology.
But even with these advancements, some of Hyzon's recent decisions seem kind of questionable.
Oh, like what?
They just announced this collaboration with another company called Hyzon to manufacture hydrogen trucks.
Hyzon, wait a minute, didn't we do a deep dive on them a while back?
Yeah, and their business model was, well, let's just say it was a little unconventional.
It definitely raised some red flags, remember?
So partnering with a company like that doesn't exactly inspire confidence.
It makes you wonder about Hyzon's vetting process. Like, are they really doing their due diligence?
So where does all of this leave us with Hyzon Motors?
It's a mixed bag, really.
Yeah, they have this big vision for the future of trucking.
But their past is full of these red flags.
Is leading marketing, questionable financials, and now this partnership with Hyzon.
It's like they're trying to outrun their own shadow.
Yeah, 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Exactly. So can Hyzon actually deliver on their promises?
Or will they end up being another cautionary tale, like Nikola?
That's the million-dollar question.
Well, we've laid out all the facts, the good, the bad, and the downright perplexing. Now it's up to you to decide. So let's say you're an investor. You're looking at Hyzon Motors right now. What would you do,
Would you take the risk?
knowing everything we know now?
It's a tough call.
Yeah, because on one hand, they're in this industry with massive potential.
Absolutely. The demand for zero-emission trucks is only going to keep growing.
Right. And they do have some real technology.
They do, and a growing production capacity.
So there's that to consider.
But on the other hand,
There's that shadow of their past.
all those misleading claims.
The financial struggles.
It's hard to just ignore all that.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot more than a few successful truck deliveries to win back investor trust.
And a charismatic CEO.
Definitely.
You know, this isn't just about Hyzon, though.
What do you mean?
Their story, it kind of highlights the bigger picture.
Of the hydrogen fuel cell industry as a whole.
Exactly. There's all this excitement, all this investment pouring in.
But also a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, it's still early days.
Like a wild west out there.
Pretty much, which is why it's so important to be informed.
Do your own research.
Don't just get caught up in the hype.
And think critically about the information you come across.
Absolutely.
And that's what we've tried to do here today, right?
Yeah, present a balanced perspective.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
All sides of the story.
We've looked at the tech, the marketing, the financials, the partnerships, all of it.
Now it's up to you to dig deeper.
Stay informed.
Keep an eye on Hyzon's progress.
And the broader hydrogen fuel cell landscape.
Maybe you'll be the one to spot the next big breakthrough.
Or the next big red flag. But at least you're armed with the knowledge to navigate this exciting and, let's face it, kind of unpredictable world of hydrogen trucking.
The future's out there.
Maybe it's fueled by hydrogen, maybe not.
Keep those questions coming.
Stay curious.
And thanks for joining us on this deep dive